Hey guys, this is host Adi and welcome back to Comic Space, and today we are having quite a major update about another major project coming up as we are heading into this last phase and the last leg of the Multiverse Saga, and we are going to wrapping up the Multiverse Saga with Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. We are going to have another project coming up which we had been talking about for quite a while, which we also went on to thought that Marvel Studios have probably cut that project down or at least had put it on the ice. And again, from the title and from the thumbnail you guys probably have figured it out, we are talking about the Young Avengers project. The project is in development and Marvel Studios is also looking forward to start its production by next year, which is again in great news coming up. A major update coming from a major source today, and of course it is going to be Daniel RPK. And again, if you have been following our channel or have been part of the rumor mill, you know that we like to give Daniel RPK a lot more reverence than any other source, as you also have quite an impeccable track record. So this update is kind of in twofold, because this was also reported by some other source, which again Daniel RPK goes on to further confirms that yeah, this is happening. As he went on to state, I can confirm that as stated by Upper Horseman in a recent development, that Young Avengers will be in series and it is going to be named as Champions, and it is not going to be starting its production for a while. They are currently searching for a showrunner, as the reason behind the change was the underperforming of the Marvels, and the remove of the word young from the title is due to the fact that some of the cast members may be aging out of the younger label. So even talking of the initial update that we had about the Young Avengers project that we just recently got, which is supposed to be renaming as the Champions project, which we will talk about. The show is supposed to be starting its production in the early months of 2025 or by the sometime of 2025, but it is for sure that Marvel Studios is looking forward to getting that Young Avengers project into the production by next year. But I think one of the major reasons to also change the title has to be dropping the Avengers from the title as well. Because I think it has been a quite while since we talk about this topic, but Marvel Studios is also going to be very cautious when it comes to time using the Avengers in any of the titles. Because if I remind you, Marvel Studios is also supposed to be developing in West Coast Avengers team and in West Coast Avengers storyline on the other side of the Multiverse Saga, which is going to be culminating in the Vision Quest series, which is Marvel Studios is developing adjacently. We are going to head into further more of the West Avengers Coast roster and the team as we move forward, and especially with the Wonder Man series coming out in the December of 2025. So of course there has been a lot of talks about Marvel Studios developing a Young Avengers project, which of course they evidently set up in the post-credit scene of the Marvels. So it is also one of those things that Marvel Studios couldn't have cancelled or have delayed much further, given the fact that they already set up that storyline within in such a major film. It is very evident that Kamala is going to be building her own Avengers team, and which is again we also have went on to talk about what this series could be central around. And also again in the initial time when we were talking about the Young Avengers project, we also thought it was going to be a major theatrical project, which is now been turning into a Disney Plus series, which is great, I believe it is great. I think we are just going to have a lot of development with the characters and the dynamics of them within Disney Plus series, and Marvel Studios not really have to move forward within $250 million of a theatrical project, which again it is going to be quite a thing, especially if you're going to developing at this scale with all of these characters involved and the storyline. I'm not saying that the series is going to be anything lower than that, but I think it also in terms of storyline and in terms of writing, it also allows you and gives you a lot more room to do stuff. So of course Marvel Studios have went on to set up a lot of adjacent storyline running across the whole Multiverse Saga, which again our primary storyline is the Multiverse Saga. It is Avengers Doomsday, it is Avengers Secret Wars, and to set up all of those things and to set up all of those characters. But again Marvel Studios also majorly have went on to develop onto the supernatural side of the MCU. The cosmic side, which I will not say, which the cosmic side haven't really been developed that much. Within the Multiverse Saga we had Guardians film, which is again already have kind of closed the chapter on that franchise. The Marvel still had multiversal ties and elements to it, and it was a major setup to of course the Young Avengers team, and of course Monica being stuck in an X-Men universe, which is obviously going to be a major story point when we circle back to it in Avengers Doomsday or in Secret Wars. So another major thing to talk about here, what this series possibly could be central around, because one of the things that Marvel can do is that they kind of go on in completely different route and not really talking about the multiverse stuff, but given the fact the involvement of Kamala in the Marvels film, and of course Carol Danvers' main focus is right now to bring back Monica. So again with everything going on, Marvel Studios might also include Young Avengers into the mix of the Multiverse Saga, and their main aim could be to bring back Monica home which again could be a very interesting storyline and also put Young Avengers into the mix of the Multiverse Saga and lead into Secret Wars. So if that was to happen, I believe that everyone is going to be coming out in Avengers Secret Wars. The Young Avengers are going to be coming out, Thunderbolts are probably coming out, which we had in major update recently as well. All of the characters that we are going to be seeing in the upcoming Thunderbolts film are also going to be part of Avengers Doomsday. And if you threw the Young Avengers into the mix, you obviously have to pay it off that storyline with a conclusion in the Secret Wars, if they take that route and include multiversal elements to it. So as we are going to head into this last and the final phase of the Multiverse Saga, which is going to be phase 6, and when it is going to be revealed in its full entirety, it is going to be one of the major reveals, which again right now we only have 2 theatrical projects on it, and that being both of the Avengers film, and we don't have too much to go on what is going to happen on the Disney Plus side. But as we are heading into the last leg of phase 5, it is going to be interesting with a lot more updates and insights coming up. So again, I think it is time for me to see you guys off on this one. I'm so glad that you guys got the time to hear me out. Thanks for listening to me. This is your host Adi signing off. See you in the next one.